There's a big sequence at the end of the book where this river god comes and takes away the bridge. And I was able to just look for what is the most beautiful, spectacular, interesting river to do that. And we found a river in Slovenia. In this town of Bovic, the Socha Valley.
Baza tega znanja je bil naš najbolj znan pesnik Simon Gregorčič, ki je umrl leta 6. Krasna si bistra hči planin, brtka v prirodni si lepoti. Jaz se pišem Darenka Kravanja in sem najstarejša Bovčanka s 96 leti.
Bovec, to malo mestece v vznožju Kanina, naselje, ki ima odlično lego.
En lep kraj, ki ga obdaja veliko gor. Imamo en velik slap, ker je zelo znan.
Skozi Bovško kotlino teče zaradi zelena reka Soča.
V Bovcu je posebno to, da je narava v bistvu taka neokorena. Nekako dotaknemo in dejansko lahko res doživimo tisto naravo, ki jo lahko redko kje na svetu lahko doživeti.
S podmladkom v bistvu gojimo ljubezen do našega posebnega kraja, ker je res naša dolina ena najlepših dolin, prav sigurno na svetu.
Je bolj lepo mesto. Jaz bi rekel, smo da je najlepše mesto na svetu.
In naše mnenje je, da je to najlepši delček tako Slovenije.
Kot najnovejši dogodek smo slišali o tem filmu, velikem baje, zelo velikem, ki ga bodo snemali v Bovcu. Glavna igralka bo seveda Soča, recimo tako, no.
Logistically, it's a challenging thing to make a film this size.
Around 40 drivers, 34 different kind of vehicles. Tonnage-wise, quite a lot.
You know, we had crews of 1,200 people, depending on the day. That's a small army, a small town. So you have to have a very, very strong production team, obviously, to help you. And when you go into any new environment, particularly a new country, there's always fears. Will you be accepted by the community? How experienced are the crews? How smoothly is the operation going to run? And we had this production company called Propeller that brought us into there, and they handled the logistics of what was an incredibly complex situation.
A Propeller is working mainly in the field of advertising. So this is our first feature film, which is, wow, quite the beginning. It was just a scout. Somebody gave a hint to the location scout about Slovenia, about this river.
No, sestali smo se, no in to je v želju in tak zgolj pogovor o tem, ali je sploh možno tu snemati ali ne. In posebej v teh krogih je bilo veliko pomislek.
It's a well-protected area, so the biggest problem was to get all the permissions to realize it, and this was almost 6 months of work, even more. I would say 9 months of work.
So it's really a lot of paperwork. For each and every small thing here, you need a permission. It's like every stone is a protected item.
In seveda sem na to rekel, sem osebno, sem izjemno ponosen. Mi skrbimo za vse njene naravoslovne značilnosti. Se pravi, tako za tele kamne, ki so tu, kot za vodo, ki teče in za vse stvari.
We got, I don't know, 40, 50 different permissions. So this was difficult, quite difficult.
It's a huge thing, you know. For Slovenia, it's a huge thing, actually. It's one of the pearls of the country.
No in po tistem, kar so razložili in po tem, da so pokazali tudi veliko mero zaveščenosti, smo se pogovarjali naprej.
It's a beautiful location which matches the rivers in New Zealand beautifully that we've already filmed at. And we started to toy around with the idea of building a bridge.
bridge is based on the bridge that Julius Caesar built across the Rhine when he was attacking the Germans. A wooden structure made out of big pine logs.
It had to be quite a kind of sophisticated design, but look of the period and the style that Roger wanted to look like. So basically we went to like the biggest bridge builder in the country.
And Mr. Humer, which is one of the managers of this company, was immediately ecstatic about this project because he's a bridge builder since his young years.
Rekel bi tako, ta projekt je zahteval kar nekaj spoštovanja. Nenavaden mostni projekt, ki se ga ne gradi kadarkoli. Mislim, da je bil to za nas gradbenike v Primorju in smo se ga lotili z vsem spoštovanjem. Vsi ti hlodi so temeljeni, zapiti v reko Sočo. To ni navadna filmska kulisa, to je pravi most. Tudi površina mostu, če ga pogledamo po celi dolžini, most je zelo širok, čezenj lahko jaha cela konjenica vojščakov.
In order to build the bridge, it's a very wide floodplain that the river's in, and it's a stony floodplain, which was to our advantage because we were able to, believe it or not, redirect the river, enabling us to build our bridge across a dry ex-riverbed.
I can recall about 7 big dredgers digging and moving all this gravel. It was like a symphony of all these machines. And it was quite a shock for me to see it in this environment.
You know, we don't want to do any ecological damage, and well, in fact, we haven't because of the nature of the riverbed.
We found ourselves in a very lucky situation. They were in the process of wanting to redirect the river. The river had suffered damage during a landslide a year or so beforehand.
Ključni in za nas najpomembnejši del je pa seveda dokončna ureditev tega odseka Soče, tako kot si jo želimo že dlje časa.
And that enabled us to actually solve their problems and create an incredible environment for shooting the sequence.
Then it turned to logistics. I started getting the numbers. It started with 700 people, first unit, then 900, then 300 extras, 1,200 altogether, then 100 trucks, then 370, I think is the last number we got, vehicles, and this is huge.
At the moment, you know, we are organizing the base camp. Sunday we start building the tents for the makeup wardrobe and prosthetic and catering tent for the crew and then for the extras. It's going to be really big and filled up with a lot of equipment. It's going to be another village. It's going to be another Bovets in the Bovets.
So let's say the main preoccupation I had was how to handle all this, and I shouldn't forget accommodation.
I can tell you accommodation is a science fiction. We're talking about Bovets, which has, I think, 1,600 inhabitants. And I have to find beds for 1,000 people. So in the beginning it was nightmare.
Because this is such a small village. So we are spread from this point where we are now for about, let's say, 70, 80 kilometers.
I will just show you this. Maybe this will explain to you everything. These are maps for the whole little towns, cities, villages around Bovets. We have 28 villages and around 95, I think, different departments. So really, it was nightmare. And then when all those dates changed, you build something for a week, for 2 weeks, and then, oh my God, you start from the beginning.
We practically doubled the inhabitants of Bovets. So it's really a huge impact on this community.
I always feel slightly worried when we take over small towns because I'm sure that not everyone in the small town wants a huge movie crew coming in and sort of making a noise and disturbing things.
Samo dosti pogovorov o tem, ali bo res tudi kaj, ne vem, prinesla dobrega ali pa slabega.
Za nas je to kar pridobitev, da prihaja taka velika skupina ljudi, predvsem je to podaljšanje sezone.
I don't think people here are really aware how much is like 1,200 people, you know. I'm not sure if they have this number in their head, you know. So they are saying to us all the time, no problem.
No ja, se mi smo že pripravljeni. Pripravljeni smo tako na njih kot na druge goste, tako da oni bojo pač zasedli kapacitete, drugi pač bojo šli naprej.
I think this will be really a shock for Bovets because all the restaurants, they close at 9 o'clock in the evening. Hotels, they serve food till 10 o'clock in the evening.
Well, it's going to be full on. I mean, suddenly we're going to have 850 crew descend on this town for the next 2.5 weeks. It's going to be absolutely crazy. All the things that can have been done to make that a smooth operation have been done, but it's going to be unlike this town has ever seen.
Movie company really is it's like a carnival. You know, our trucks pull into town, and we create, hopefully, this magic that captivates some of the local citizens.
Rehearsals, go scout! Call it, boys. Ready! Ready, and 3, 2, 1, action! Next sunny bit might be a bit.
We're waiting on weather, like we usually do.
Heads off, heads off. Everybody take cover.
It's a beautiful area. So beautiful. Now you can just work on the weather.
They just called lunch. It's starting to rain. I think we got 2 or 3 takes. Oh well.
Andrew, you want the water level to be high? No problem.
And then we get the news that there's a storm coming, and we had to close down shooting.
I don't know if anybody can hear me back at base camp, but I'm calling RAP.
Tomorrow, 4th of July, I heard we're going to maybe have off to celebrate 4th of July. Or maybe it's just going to rain all day, so what's the point?
Please take it easy. Get a good night's sleep.
I think that at first, maybe the people in Sylvania were like, ooh, what did we get ourselves into?
There's only a certain number of restaurants, and the first night we were there, some of them just ran out of food.
I went down to the restaurant to have a little bite of dinner, and the waitress looked like a deer in headlights, a little overwhelmed by the sheer number of us. She ran back there, checked with the chef, came back, and she said, "I'm sorry, we have problem. No more food." And I said, "Really? There's no more food?" She goes, "Well, there's food, but the chef, he quit."
So people were having to go to the supermarket and cook their own food because the restaurants basically just had to turn people away.
It was kind of a touristy town, like a lot of river rafting tours went out of there, so they were used to some influx of people, but I don't think anything prepared them for us, you know.
I mean, all of us were out every night, eating, drinking.
It's like, what do you mean the bar's closed? We just got off work. It's 10:30 at night. And it's like, of course, everybody's in bed. It's a small, sleepy town.
Bovich was actually consumed by the film for a small period of time. I mean, we had our editorial in a fire station.
That's right. They had this quite an elaborate fire station. So there was quite a nice room that we used to screen dailies.
In to je velika dvorana, kjer zvečer potem predvajajo to, kar so čez dan posneli.
And next to that was a room set up with a pool table. It's the first place I've edited with a pool table in the same room. And that's where I had my avid and where our assistants were. I've already won a number of pool trophies. And every now and then I'd be editing and I'd hear the sort of a creak of a door and a guy in kind of full fire kit would peek out. Hi.
How are you doing?
Very good, thank you. The firemen were very keen on looking after their visitors.
We hope that you will also return after it, at least as a tourist.
Yeah.
But they were very sweet, very sweet.
It was a pretty intense storm. Later that night I was getting calls, "We don't know if the bridge is going to hold."
The biggest risk that we have here is weather. Having been here and experienced it now for a month and a half, I can tell you that whatever anybody says about the weather, you don't know. You just don't know. If there's a sudden really, really heavy rain for a day, there could be a flash flood, and we're up against that worry.
Reka Soča ima 1000 obrazov. Včasih je mila, včasih pa naraste, ima izrazito hudourniški značaj in se njene vode se znajo dvigniti.
I was getting really worried. I mean, if the bridge had been washed away, I think we would have lost months of production.
Non-stop rain, and this river has gone up twice its size. The real danger is, quite frankly, right now, the river can take it. It's a question of whether or not our set can.
It had been built to withstand, I can't remember exactly the cubic force of the water, but we were within a tiny tolerance. We got to the point of flying our engineers in, and we had an emergency runoff in the river that we, had bulldozers standing by.
We're about to divert the river.
We came so close to having to do that. Rose about 2 feet yesterday. The setup there became an island.
It's quite strong current today.
It's crazy. Actually, the irony of it is this is what the river should look like. This is the river depth.
No, this is the cubic meters per second.
Yeah.
We raised 96.
You got to 96 and we didn't have to divert the river?
No.
I have to say, as a location to go just for a holiday, great people, great food, great accommodation, incredible surroundings. And we got to shoot there for a couple of weeks.
How beautiful is this? Slovenia was one of the highlights of the shoot. We need that refreshing course, that refreshing period, you know, to kind of get our spirits up.
Summer in Slovenia.
I had people in my crew doing all the adventure, because Slovenia is known for like all its amazing whitewater rapids and all that. Not that I did any of that.
Lahko rečemo, da je to najbolj avanturistični slovenski center.
We're going canyoning, which I think means strategically falling down a mountain.
I'm digging Slovenia.
You know, the Socha River is a big trout fishing area as well.
We originally thought we might shoot the gorge down here somewhere, and we saw pools like this, just full of fish. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I gotta go fishing there.
When you're there, it's just hard to describe where we were at. I swore that we were in New Zealand when we were filming.
It's magical, eh? Almost looks like home.
It's just this paradise in the middle of Europe.
Lovely. Lovely town, lovely country, lovely people. Pretty much 10 out of 10.
We're all sitting there going, how can we shoot more here? Is there a way we can transport the castle set on the banks of the river and we've set it up so we can stay in Slovenia?
I love it. Like nothing I've ever seen.
We were really, really lucky. It was a very warm and welcoming experience.
I want to say that I am very pleased to greet the film crew who has chosen this beautiful part of Slovenia's scenery for one part of the film The Story of Narnia.
I think everybody realized that this is really something special, something big. Maybe because it's the first time in Slovenia. This is the fact.
Zdaj pa končno nekaj dobrega se dogaja tle okrog Bovca, v Bovcu. Ker Bovc zasluži tisto.
Dejansko pravlični, ampak za razvoj smo imeli pa zadnja desetletja kar nekaj smole.
I think one of the things that has struck me quite strongly since I've been here is what we're actually doing in this place, in this environment, and how it sits with the history of the area generally.
Nahajamo se na prizorišču snemanja filma o Narniji in slučaj izgleda je nanesel, da se nahajamo prav na prizorišču, kjer so se veliki zgodovinski dogodki odvijali pred 90 leti, če govorimo o začetku vojne med Italijo in Avstro-Ogrsko.
V cerkvi je gospod dekan oznanil, dragi verniki, vojna bo. Ovec mora biti v 24 urah prazen.
Temu je sledilo 26 mesecev bojevanja v jarkih, kar je bilo značilno za Prvo svetovno vojno.
Italijani povzročijo, velike izgube in težave, tako branilcem, kot tudi velike izgube na svoji strani. Po 11 bitkah se znajde avstro-ogrska obramba v velikih težavah, zaprosijo za pomoč Nemce. Bovško bojišče je bilo značilno potem, da ga ni bilo mogoče uničiti, torej italijanske utrdbe v dolini so se odločili uporabiti plin in sicer na tem mestu so inštalirali, namestili 900 minometov in ciljno območje je bilo pa seveda v tej kotlini. Koncentracija plina je bila tako visoka, da nihče ni preživel.
Ta bitka je bila pravzaprav svetovno najbolj zabeležen dogodek na Soški fronti, poimenovan po cilju prvega dne po Kobaridu, ki je v literaturi znan tudi z italijanskim imenom Caporetto, Hemingway prepovedi z Bogom orožje, A Farewell to Arms.
I used to go for a run every morning across the floor of the valley, and one time I ran back towards the Italian border, and that coincides with where the trenches were in the First World War, and you can actually peer through the gun sights. So it was pretty moving, pretty amazing experience to be there in the rain and to look through those gun sights and think very little has changed since then.
Ko smo se oktobra približno nekateri so se nekateri že vrnili v Bovc, čeprav je bil popolnoma porušen. Tako da smo bili delovni takoj, kakor smo prišli domov v Bovc.
Interesting metaphor that we've got our raging battle between Narnians and Telmarines stretching across our bridge, and now this awful warfare has already sat in this valley. It was something that struck me very strongly.
And who would have thought, you know, all those years later, that from a whole lot of shooting of one kind, you end up over here shooting a different kind of thing.
Today is day 100 of however many, but we're very excited.
This is celebration time.
At the end of our time there, it was really sweet. The mayor came to see it and actually thanked me for what we'd brought to the town.
Made for you.
Nobody see, out, and you're the first.
And he gave me this wonderful, naive painting of our location.
This is after the bridge is gone.
And a medal that gave me sort of an honorary membership to the town.
We have a little something for you. It's not much, but you can wear it.
I would say one of my lifetime experiences, personally.
Let's take us home, boys and girls.
A lot of fun, a bit of gray hair.
Let's roll, please, rolling.
No, really, it was something special.
See you next time.
Next time. Yeah, it was wonderful. And now that the bridge is gone, everybody's kind of sad because it was so beautiful.
Well done, everybody.
No! And when everybody will be gone in a few days, I don't know, it's going to be quiet.
Good everything.
Too quiet.
And then on top of that, we were actually able to help them restore a location to its original state as part of our process. So in the eyes of all the conservation people there, they were very happy that we were actually leaving it in a better state that we found it.
Sem zelo vesela in bi rekla hvala tistemu človeku, ki je najdel prav ta kraj za snemati, ker mislim, da je zadev prav res pravljica v pravljici.
Po mojih izkušnjah, tisti, ki enkrat pride, je sigurno zaklet in pride še nazaj.
Mi smo vsi, kolikor nas je domačinov, seveda še zadovoljni, da smo v tem lepem kraju doma.
But yeah, the Socha River is just a beautiful location, and Bovich was just an incredibly welcoming town.